There are no balloons or bunting, but this company is celebrating a birthday. The PEI Mutual Fire Insurance Company is 100 years old. It's a company that permeates most of island society. The company's vault contains 16,000 files. That's 16,000 policyholders. They represent over $3 million worth of business. PEI Mutual insures more property than any other insurance company on the island. The general manager of PEI Mutual is Malcolm McFarlane. He believes the company gets so much business because the rates are low and people like to support a local company.
We don't report to a head office in Toronto or New York. This is the head office. The decisions are made here. Rightly or wrongly, the decisions are made here.
What's your stock and trade?
Our main emphasis is personal service, friendly service by almost one of your neighbors. Everyone doesn't know the director in the area, but many, many people do.
A lot of companies try to have that image of being your friend, your neighbor. What makes you deliver on it better than other companies?
I guess because we're not 100% interested in the bottom line, making a profit. That's not our object. In fact, you know, in 1983, it's fair to say the board of directors were almost embarrassed by the profits. Had we not done something about it, the profits were so high, it was a record year. So for the first time in 99 years, we gave 10% back to every policyholder. Yes, it was an advertising, you know, it helped the company, but it was the only right thing we could do. The profits have been accumulating. There's nowhere for the profits to go. They're not paid to any shareholder or stockholder. So when there are excessive profits, they are returned.
From the beginning a century ago, PEI Mutual concentrated on rural areas because it was created by farmers. They formed a cooperative, or mutual, because insurance companies of the day wouldn't insure farms or they would charge exorbitant rates. That emphasis on rural PEI has remained. Today, PEI Mutual does business with over 80% of island farms.
It's been great weather, Wendell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mark, you soon come in.
That's right.
Wendell Yo is a customer of PEI Mutual. He's a dairy farmer, and recently he spent about $25,000 on a new bulk tank and pipeline. Company agent Phil McDonald has come to see the new equipment and revise Yo's policy.
So that's the new tank you got?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the pipeline there.
Whatever we do in the way of the milking equipment or equipment in the barn will be considered in the value of the barn itself. It will not be a separate item. In other words, if there's $25,000 worth of milking equipment, it will just go on your barn coverage. It will all show us coverage on the barn.
I declare this meeting open.
Should disaster ever befall Wendell Yo, his claim will come across this table. Chances are it will receive a sympathetic hearing because most of the 9 directors sitting around it are farmers. They deal with farm accidents every meeting, from electrocuted cows to trampled horses.
This was one that was just considered at the last meeting where the horse went into the fence and got tangled up in the fence, and the other horses went right over the top and trampled the first horse to death.
Malcolm McFarlane says the company has enjoyed economic stability for most of its history, but the 1984 financial report was not a joy to present.
We did have an underwriting loss in '84 of $243,000. This was directly attributable to the massive increase in claims. Claims are up over $700,000.
An hour later, McFarlane gives the same news to the annual meeting. No one seems interested. There are probably less than 10 policyholders in the audience. The rest of the people are guests and staff. The event is a formality, less than 45 minutes long. 3 new directors are elected by acclamation, and no one asks a question. McFarlane interprets the lack of interest as policyholder satisfaction with the way the company is operated. He says PEI Mutual has tripped up only once.
Apparently in the late 20s, early 30s, times were very tough. The number of fires on Prince Edward Island must have increased, because reading through the minutes of the company, I can see where the claims process, they slowed down paying their claims. they were always able to pay every claim. But they didn't get the check out as fast as we like to today. That was as close as that was the biggest pitfall that I know of that they had.
That was a deliberate slowing down, do you think?
They didn't have any choice. They didn't have any choice. It was that nip and tuck that, you know, they were that close to closing the doors, apparently.
100 years ago, the policies covered fire and lightning strikes against farm buildings. They now cover homes, livestock, fishing boats, and corner stores, but not cars. The company feels it doesn't have the expertise to handle autos. As the PEI Mutual Fire Insurance Company enters its second century,